I think Pradeep sir has also joined. I think, yeah, he has joined.
Pradeep, have you?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, looks like he's in office. Wonderful.
Sir is a
Yes,
hard
sir.
worker. Sir will be. सर का छुट्टी नहीं होता सर वो ऑफिस में ही रहते हैं.
He is never on a holiday.
Now
Never
started sir live streaming.
तो स्टार्ट कर दे. बस 1 मिनट बाद 1 मिनट में स्टार्ट कर देते. I think people will start. They will join in between the lecture. I think we can start. I think. जोर सर start कर ले.
Yes, please.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all the participants. Today is day 11 of the 21 days online evening training program. So, our today's lecture will be centered around silage maize. So, we all know the importance of quality fodders and silage in ensuring year-round availability of quality fodders and improving the livestock productivity and supporting the dairy sectors. So our first speaker is Dr. Pradeep Kumar. He's a senior scientist at ICAR-IMR, Ludhiana. Sir is known for her research work primarily on fodder maize, baby corn, and the Norman corn. And Sir has also led several externally funded projects, and including the one flagship project on promotion of silage maize in Punjab and Haryana. And this project was funded by Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India. And under this project, two silage unit demonstration unit were established in Punjab and Haryana, and which are doing very good, and they are doing excellent work. And Sir has a very extensive practical experience across the maize solutions. He has field experience on how silage are produced and how to set up silage unit, and means he has a vast knowledge on silage value chains. So Sir has also make significant contributions in improvement of in development of two baby corn varieties, and which are CMS line, and also as a co-developer in more than 20 varieties. So today, Sir will deliver a lecture on advance in silage maize and fodders, breeding, production, and utilization for livestock security. So with this introduction, I warmly welcome Dr. Pradeep Kumar to deliver his expert lecture. Sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Robin. Allow me to share my screen.
अभी नहीं हुआ सर. मैं सभी पार्टिसिपेंट में और एक और रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहता हूं कि सर के बेबी कॉर्न के बारे में भी आप लोग क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हो, और फोकस रहिए कि साइलेज मैच में भी हो, मगर आप बेबी कॉर्न और फील्ड कॉर्न बाकी में भी सर से भी आप मींस क्वेश्चन यू कैन आस्क क्वेश्चन, यू कैन राइट द क्वेश्चंस इन द चैट बॉक्स आल्सो. अभी शेयर नहीं हुआ है सर आपका.
आप अलाउ करो. It's showing that you are not authorized to share your screen.
ओके तो मैं कर देता हूँ सर. Advance share only. I think sir it will work now.
Okay. Is it visible?
अभी शेयरिंग कर रहे हैं सर. हाँ, इज विजिबल. स्लाइड मोड में डाल दीजिए बस.
You can check now. Is it in slide mode now?
हाँ, अभी slide mode पे अब आ गया. ठीक है.
Okay. And my voice is clearly audible to all?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And good evening to all. And before that, I think today is 11th day, and before 10 days, you learned about the maize regarding the for grain purpose or biofortification or other purposes of maize. But today we will discuss something different because one in agriculture, everything thinking about that how we can get higher yield and gain the more profit. But we are excluding one aspect which is tightly related to agriculture, livestock. And livestock, like agriculture, is the backbone of Indian economy. Similarly, livestock also the backbone of agriculture. So, as we are focusing on agriculture or different crops, similarly, we have to focus on livestock also, and livestock is linked to the fodder, quality fodder. And today, and maize, as maize play in the important role for grain purpose, similarly, it play a very important role for fodder purpose. And today we will discuss as in the title like fodder, how we can use fodder, silage, and one that more people may be known about that hydroponics that we will also explain in that slide, and how we can get the quality silage. We will discuss this and how we can store for long time and how we can conserve different method of conserving the silage that will cover in that presentation. If we see the overview, in the current scenario in India, there is around the 35% shortage of green fodder and 11% of dry crop residue and 44% in concentrate. And that also play an important role on the productivity of the animal. And fodder, if you see, the fodder alone play 70% role in the animal milk productivity. Even though before, I think last 5 or 6 years continuously India is the number one in the milk production. But if you see the average productivity per animal per year, we are almost half over the global level. If you see in India, it is 1700 per kg per animal per year, but it is in the global level, which can see it is the 2700. Even though it play an important role genetics of the animal, but other than genetics, the outer factor like fodder, it also play a very important role. And in this sense, we have to improve the protein quality because protein quality is lower and increase the digestibility. And currently, there is, if we see the lean period where the fodder shortage, like in March and June month and December to January, we can see this is a lean period where the shortage of fodder. That mostly dry fodder, yeah, we can see that wheat straw mainly used for that animal feed. And in that period, the milk productivity just reached at the half. If any animal giving the 10 liter, it is up to 5 liter. In that case, the silage play an important role. Beside this, we have to think about the optimize the harvesting stage or planting density, not only the silage but over the all the fodder aspect of the maize to achieve the higher yield and quality food. Why maize as a fodder or silage? Because it have the higher yield, higher productivity, more succulent, and can be used in different form. It can be intercrop with any legumes crops that can help to increase the protein content. And most important parameter that it is free from any anti-quality components like sorghum have some anti-quality factors, and it's can be used as a grain fodder, as a silage or maize store. Maize store means after harvesting of mature cob, remaining portion also can be used as a animal fodder. And in the term of silage, if you see, mostly 90% people are preparing the silage with cob only, but some people are preparing silage without cob also. If we comparison, if we compare the green fodder, maize green fodder with other fodder like bajra, sorghum, teosinte or any napier bajra, we can see it has the highest crude protein 8 to 11% and having 52 to 68 means maximum in vitro dry matter digestibility, which provide the more energy to the animal and ultimately increase the milk yield. Similarly, if we compare the silage profile with other crop, means sorghum, alfalfa, ryegrass, and whole crop wheat, we can see it have higher dry matter percentage. And in this, that alfalfa also having up to 40 and wheat also having 45%. But if we see the biomass, higher biomass we can get from that maize comparatively to the wheat or alfalfa. Crude protein also it having some drawback, means having medium range 7 to 9%, not more than 10 or 11%. Similarly, NDF within the range. And if we see here in starch, it's having higher starch content, which provide more energy to the animal for overall development and higher milking, 25 to 35%, and provide the more energy. You can see here net energy percentage. And fermentation quality also excellent compared to other crops. Like ryegrass also having excellent, but having lower yield, that drawback. And main limitation you can see, maize corn having that little bit low protein. But if we can do some intervention, some intercrop or maybe high protein cultivar, that drawback can be removed. Now, one by one, we can talk that. Firstly, we will discuss about the silage. That presently condition is that presently in the India is the situation that land is distributing among the parentage to the sons or different families. So nobody can share his land to the green fodder. So this is the benefit of silage. If one time you can produce at the field, you can pack that silage and can feed to the animal up to 6 months. Even in the that different crop season or in the some that flood situation or anything that. And one more important thing that we can't reduce and or lose any quality parameter compared to the green fodder. And in silage, when we are preparing with cow, we are providing the quality fodder also and simultaneously grains also, concentrate also. So it having higher quality parameter that can help to provide the energy and milking. So we can ensile that forage, and in Punjab we can say here it is a char for animals, and after 40 to 45 days it is ready to feed to the animal. After packing in airtight container, means should be no air in that portion. What happened in the fermentation process when we produce this silage in anaerobic condition, means there is no air or oxygen in that plant sugar fermentation is occurred and that converted into lactic acid or organic acid that can reduce the pH of that and can enhance the quality. But other than anaerobic condition, other factor also affecting the quality of silage, that we can say the water content or moisture percent in the whole plant, it should be 65 to 70%. Dry matter, which is play an important role for silage quality and compaction. It should be within the range, means 30 to 38%. If we can discuss in further slide what happened if less than 30% is dry matter and what happened if more than 38% is dry matter. And further particle chopping land, it is standardly it is 12 to 20 mm, but it also depend on the particle or dry matter percentage. Similarly, packing and sealing, and also depend on the how we can doing the storage, means which portion, means bag or silage bag or maybe trains. Here you can see how the silage quality depend on the chopping land. If we see we are harvesting at wet silage, means having less than 30% or 31% dry matter, then we have to keep longer chop land. And if we are harvesting within the range, means good quality silage, generally we harvest 32 to 35%, then we have to harvest at medium chop length 8 to 12 mm. And if we are harvesting dry silage, means having more than 36 or 38% dry matter, then we have to keep shorter chop length. Why this chop length we are adjusting? Because of more compaction and create the anaerobic condition to create the environment for lactic acid production or lactobacillus bacteria fermentation. If we see the maize plant, how the energy source, what plant play an important role to providing the energy source. If we see the stalk and leaves that contribute the 20% in the dry matter percentage, and only this portion leaves and stem also play also providing some anti-nutrition, means that reduce the digestibility like lignin content. So it partly digestible 30 to 40%. Similarly, cob and with the cob husk, it play an 46% in the dry matter contribution, and it is 90 to 100% digestible. It means that with cob silage provide more energy to the animal and higher digestibility. And if you have seen, there is three types of cone, means one is dent type, and one is flint type, and one is medium to flint and dent type. Generally that the flow, if you see the cutting portion of that grain in the dent type, maximum portion of soft starch, we can see flory type. Yeah, when we go for harvesting, is break down easily, and whenever go to the animal rumen, it retention time is high, and animal can digest easily and provide the more energy to the animal. But if you can see here the plain type, very rare portion or very low portion of the flow. Firstly, it is difficult to break down, and if it is break down, it is reached to the rumen, and after some times it come out through the cow dung or dung in the form, and less digestibility, then provide the less energy to the animal. So whenever you go for selecting the hybrid for that silage purpose, firstly go for that more mainly dent type. If you are going for that flint type, then it should be flory. That we will discuss in next slide. Then one important things you have to take care for silage purpose, correct harvesting stage. You have to harvest when the milk line of that grain, when you take the one cob and break down in the middle portion, you can see the grain portion. When milk line is the half, you can go for the harvesting, and up to 3/4 lines you can go for harvesting. Why this yellow line from that upper portion, outer portion to the lower portion? Because it is the direction of the starch field from a starch field to the towards the milk line, means it is converting sugar to the starch portion. So if you go for that harvesting, firstly you have to take care that we have to start with half milk line, and up to third to fourth milk line you can go for harvesting. If you go beyond that, it means you go going toward the maturity. Here also you can see the there is one other that method ki half milk line you can go for harvesting. Another method you can see, there is husk leaf over the cob. Based on that also you can identify the harvesting stage. Because when 30 to 35% dry matter is there in that plant or in the cob, this is the correct stage of harvesting. How you can identify? When the dry husk and 2 to 3 green leaves under the ears, means whenever you remove that husk, if 2 to 3 husk is green, then you can start harvesting, and up to when you pick out that husk. If one green leaves is there and all are dry, that up to that you can harvest. If all husks are dried, then it means there is no milk in that grain, and it is creating problem for the compaction, and that cannot be prepared the good quality silage. Why that, as earlier I explained, why it is not good to harvest wet silage or less than 30% at dry matter percentage. Whenever that you are harvesting less than 30% dry matter, it means you are harvesting at more moisture level, excess moisture level. That creates the proper environment for that to develop the Clostridia bacteria. That that help to produce the butyric acid, and that reduce the your quality, and it is highly toxic to the animals. So whenever you go for harvesting, it should not harvest whenever your that moisture percent more than 70% or dry matter less than 30%, because whenever low dry matter, it reduce the air pocket and create the more environment to develop the Clostridia. And you can see in some if you go for some silage unit or some train silage, you can see the leakage problem. Why this happen? Because of that they are harvesting excess moisture level. That's why the leakage happen and develop some that butyric acid. Similarly, it is loss of the total protein also, because whatever protein is that it is break down into ammonia. So we are lost in that protein also. Similarly, the loss of the other carbohydrate components, because when leakages happen, whatever the nutrient or carbohydrate present in that silage, it is come out through the leakage. So it is when you harvest at more wet silage, it create the butyric acid, nitrogen loss or protein loss, and the nutrition runoff of that carbohydrate or other nutrients. Similarly, if you harvest overly dry crops, more than 38% dry matter, means as earlier I explained that if it is the high dry matter percentage up to 30% 38% dry matter, it also play an important role to adjust the choke length. But if it is still more than 38%, then it is reduce the compaction, means it help to poor compaction, and oxygen is remain inside that. If oxygen is remain, some yeast mold growth or that aflatoxin may develop, and that exploits your silage. And that another important things, that whenever you tightly packed that silage and oxygen is remain, that bacteria also stimulate his activity fastly. If the activity start fastly, then they create the heat, excess heat. That if excess heat is there, then your silage will be poor quality. And similarly, it also reduce the protein quality or maybe damage to the proteins. So excess water or excess dry, we will avoid that harvesting level, because both are harmful for silage quality or harmful for animal also, and that will reduce the quality of silage. These are the some silage biochemical target, that pH should be within the range 3 up to 4.8, or maybe moderate to up to 4.7. But if it is more than 5%, that is poor quality. Similarly, lactic acid up to 6 or more than 6, it is good. If it is less than 2%, then also it is not good. And as earlier I explained, butyric acid, it should be within the range 0.5%. If it is more than that, then there is clostridial bacteria is there, that is reduce the quality. And ammonia, which play an important role to maintain the quality of silage, it should be up to 12%. But if it is more than 15%, that also reduce the fermentation of that. And one important thing, some person are confusing that whether we are add additives or not adding to the additives to enhance the quality of silage. We can prepare the silage without adding any additive, but if we add any additive to the silage, that also helpful to enhance the fermentation also and increase the storage life of that silage. There are two types of inoculants we are using in that silage. One is homofermentative and another is heterofermentative. In homofermentative inoculants, we are that recommending for short time of storage because they are producing fast lactic acid and low the pH very efficiently or fastly. So it can be stored up to 3 to 4 months and heterofermentative and it produces more lactic acid as explained. But in heterofermentative inoculants, if we are going for long term storage, maybe up to 6 months or 7 months, so they are produce the acetic acid that maintain the aerobic stability, means when it is exposed to the air, then it maintain the acetic acid in the aerobic stability and reduce the yeast or mold growth, because when it's exposed to the air, then it reduce that yeast or mold. Similarly, in we can use some enzyme preparation that can some hard cells or complex plant cell that can digest easily, so that can break down by enzyme activity. And we can add some salt preservative that can act as a antifungal agents to protect the silage. How that silage can enhance the yield? There is some feeding trial study. In that feeding trial study, you can see here to giving the traditional crop residue straw concentrate. It is up to 12 liter per day, and conventional green forage, maybe sorghum or oats or whatever seasonal green fodder, it is up to 14.5. But when we go for maize silage and balanced TMR system, then it is up to 18 liter per day. Now, why that maize ideal for silage? Why not other crops? One more thing, that silage, maize can be grown 3 seasons in the 1 year and widely adaptable. And other thing, it has the resistant or maybe tolerant to other abiotic stresses. And it have that higher vegetative growth, high dry matter content, and it can be ready to harvest maybe up to 80 to 90 days. So, and more important, it has succulent nature, more not more hard. These are the some desired parameter, or there are some parameter which should be in the range of that to prepare the good quality silage, that include the dry matter, ADF, NDF, or ammonia, lactic acid, like earlier I explained. So whenever go for that selecting any hybrid for silage purpose, you have to think about that it should have high biomass, means biomass yield should be higher, good dry matter content, a staggering rate, and more having more leafiness, more leaf content, and soft kernel, like earlier I explained, maybe floret type, and good fermentability. If fermentability is good, then pH drop is fastly. It have stress adaptation and good architecture, means that that co-placement, erect leaf type, that provide the easy harvesting. And one important parameter, that hybrid having long harvest window, means nowadays what happened, that the farmers are growing whatever the hybrid recommended for grain purpose, they are growing same hybrid for silage purpose. If that hybrid having that glossy type, means flint type, that having fast maturity. If fast maturity is there and the farmers growing or silage unit grower, entrepreneur growers, that maybe 200 acre, 100 acre, if he started harvesting at half milk line. He started first acre, and up to, if he go up to that 100 acre, that it will go more than 40% dry matter, and it create the heating problem. So firstly you have to go that den type or flori type, that having slow dry, not fast dry, it having the trait slow drying. The grain should be slow drying, stringent, and effective digestible. Why long harvest window play an important role? That farmers have more time to align with favorable weather condition. Means it having, means 8 to 10 days. If it is slow dry, it have 8 to 10 days to manage the harvesting or other things, and it maintain the dry matter content. Means within the range 30 to 35% or up to 37%. Further, it help to provide the logistic, or if you transport some other place, then that also help, and also accumulate more starch content in the same moisture content or same dry matter content. Those long harvest window play an important role in that silage whenever you go for selecting any hybrid. Like here, most of the person having seen that maize plant having generally 5 to 6 leaves above the cob, maybe up to 7 or 8 leaves. So such type of mutant and hybrids are available, which are having more than 10 or 12 leaves above the ears and low cob placement. Why it is play an important role? Generally, lower portion below the cob having less digestible and having more lignin content. If above the cob portion having more succulent, more digestible, and very less content of the lignin content. So whenever you go for selecting the hybrid, you have to take care of these are the things. As earlier I talked about that the flori hybrid. Why flori grains important role? Whenever go for harvesting and break down the kernel, it break down in small particle. If a small particle is there, then it retain more time in the rumen and provide the high energy. You can see here the interior portion of that grain, whole grain are filled with the flour content. And similarly, you can go for quality protein maize in place of flory hybrid, but in quality protein maize, you have to grow in isolation. If you are growing with the other crop, then there may be no benefit of that QP. You can see here the comparison of that plain type or glossy type or non-flory type, and here is the flory type of grain. So leafy and flory type hybrid combinedly can be tried to develop that silage specific hybrid. Another important silage a specific hybrid can be developed based on the brown midrib mutants. What is the characteristics of brown midrib mutant? It's having low lignin content. If lignin content is lower, then it provide the fiber digestibility enhancement and provide the more energy to the animal. How we can identify that midrib of that the corn will be brown, and compared to the normal maize, BMR hybrid having 20 to 30% less lignin content, which help to enhance that dry matter intake. So brown midrib type hybrid we can go, but it having, if it is having low lignin content, because lignin content provide the support to the plant. If lignin content is lower, it plant should be succulent and may having the lodging issue. But we can select some background type to transfer that trait. So if that little bit yield may be less, but yield can be compromised in that the digestibility matter. If that hybrid having non-BMR and it digestibility is 70% and having the BMR type and digestibility is 95%, that yield can be compromised in that place in terms of digestibility and the providing the energy. Another thing is we can go for high oil. Generally, in the normal corn, it is 3 to 5%, because you can see most whenever you preparing any animal feed, that maize is the important component. And if maize kernel is having more than 6% or up to 8% oil, then it can provide the more energy to the animal. If energy providing more, then it will ultimately enhance the yield or overall development of the animal or livestock. So if we are going for animal feed, then we can think about that high oil. Another thing, veximase can be used for silage purpose. What is this veximase? In normal maize, what happens, 70 to 75% amylopectin and 20 to 30% amylo. But in veximase, it is almost 100% is the amylopectin. Sorry. What is the benefit of that amylopectin? It is faster fermentation comparatively to the amylose. So, and it is having high starch degradability, means whatever the starch present in the amylopectin form, it is easily degradable. If it is easily degradable, then it is easily available to the animal also. So based on that, it is providing the more energy to the animal. Then we can go for that vexi silage also. Another thing we can go for, we are providing outer side to the that mineral mixer, means zinc, iron from outside to the animal. If we go for the biofortified maize hybrid or silage, we can solve out that mineral mixer problem and will provide that more digestible and high energy feed like high lysine or tryptophan, QPM, zinc, iron rich, or high starch, or that fiber quality may be added. So based on that earlier slide, we can go for different combination to develop that silage specific hybrid, maybe leafy with high biomass line, flory or leafy, QPM with leafy, high oil with leafy. This can be mutants or zinc may be combined to develop that silage specific hybrid to provide that security to the livestock. These are some common methods which are helpful to prepare the silage, like bunker silo trains, or simply we can prepare the khai or khadda and silage bag, which are easily available on online platform, and drums and bales. There are so many silage unit in that Punjab. They are preparing 100 kg to 400 kg capacity of bales. And if we are developing some silage unit, maybe it is 80 to 90 lakhs expenditure is there. What are the machinery required for that? Maybe silage harvester, and it may be self-propelled or tractor operated. That price may be 50 lakhs, and it is 26 lakh including that tractors. Other than one important parameter which required, that silage balers, which price start from 15 to 40 lakhs, depend on that different company. Other than these, we required front loader or bale grabber to transport or stack that bales, or may put that chopping fodder to the baler. It price also vary from 3 to 5 lakhs. These are the different company contact details. We can contact who are interested to develop that silage unit. Other than those machinery, we require tractor, trolley, and one shed to develop that silage or stack that silage in that condition. Other than that, maize can be used as green fodder, and there are separate varieties for fodder purpose, which height may be up to 16 to 15 feet, like African tall J1006, J1007, and that fodder yield up to 300 quintal per acre. And one other hybrid, DFS2, that tillered maize, developed by Pantnagar University, that how tillered like rice and wheat. And like in Bajra or Napier, you can go up to 3 4 cutting. Here you can go up to 2 cutting also. And its yield up to 700 quintal per hectare. And one important thing you can see that maize area is increasing day by day in every season, whether it is kharif or a spring season. But what happened to maize store? It can, as earlier I told, there is the shortage of green fodder and crop residue. So that the crop store can play an important role to reduce that shortage of that fodder, to supplement some outer side additive or inoculants that can enhance that quality. So this can be used. Recently, though, it can be using as a biofuel, but we can think to use that as a fodder. And another thing we can select that green type of hybrid that crop can be mature and plant remain green. That can also be used as that fodder, so we can select such type of hybrid. And one another things, as earlier I told, nobody can share his land to the fodder. That hydroponics maize fodder can be tried without using more land requirement, irrigation system, and labor shortage. That is very efficient to use that hydroponics fodder. We can see there is so many videos on YouTube, and 1 to 2 animals you can produce 20 to 25 trays in your home. And one company developed that as a business level, that hydroponics system, Sunne Hydroponics at Noida, and they are transporting to the dairy or nearby cities to the farmers or livestock. Why maize hydroponics is more successful than another crops that have low seed cost and high multiplication ratio? If you are using 1 kg of seed maize, it can produce up to 8 to 10 kg of fodder, and it can be ready up to 8 days, 7 to 8 days. It can produce as a green fodder also and concentrate also, because whenever you use 1 kg seed, it is not guaranteed it is germinate 100%. Non-germinate seed will serve purpose as a concentrate. This is the process, 8 days process, how we can prepare that hydroponics fodder. You can take the seed, you can wait in that water for 4 to 5, soak in water for 4 to 5 hours. After that, you can put in jute bag for 12 hours. Then you can keep in that tray, and after 8 days, you can see 12 to 15 to 20 centimeter length, and it can be take as a mat and can be used for wheat straw or as such to the animal, and can be used for poultry also, that goat and livestock. This is the low cost versus commercial system. If you can prepare that your own level, you can put this type of low cost system using fogger in that pipe type and using green growth. And one ready-made hydroponic system supplied by one veterinary university, Tamil Nadu, that cost around 40 to 45,000. That also be available. Thanks. This is all about that maize fodder and silage and hydroponics.
Thank you, Dr. Pradeep, for your lecture. So anybody has any question, please, you can ask. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah,
madam.
you are audible.
Yes.
Let us leave it to the audience for questions.
Yeah, yeah. Anybody have any questions?
So very nice presentation, sir. Thank you. Many new insights into the silage and the dry silage and other aspects you have covered, sir. So one thing is that we have been working on the BMR thing, but a lot of disease comes in BMR, which makes the viability of BMR into a almost 50-50 proposition. Do we have any BMR hybrid silage hybrids which are disease tolerant, sir?
No, so far no. Actually, problem is that you are telling that disease and insect now, but we are having earlier BMR mutant, but problem is logi. So we are selecting such type of background where it can be transferred easily and having low issue of that disease pressure and that lodging issue. So you have to select that background where you can transfer and reduce the problem of that disease and lodging.
Venkatesh
Recently,
sir,
yes,
Yes.
sir.
No.
I could recognize because you had a different login, so it was not your usual login. Couldn't recognize you in the first place. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, with BMR, we have two issues, as we discussed the other day in heterotic pattern. One is sturdiness, as Dr. Pradeep said, and on the other hand, we have foliar blights. So, as of now, we don't have any hybrid based on BMR through the AICRP system. What we are relying on is a dual purpose release because, as of now, we don't have any release criteria in our ECRIP maize or IGFRI based ECRIP, wherein we can release silage hybrids purely. So we are still relying on dual purpose and some data which is generated by IIMR or NDDB in terms of silage. But these factors are key if we have to develop anything. Sturdiness on one side and coupled with foliar blight resistance in BMR. What do you, Pradeep?
Yes, sir.
Thanks for the clarification, Dr. Zahur and Narendra, sir.
Sir, question please.
Yeah.
So actually, I have this. Is there if we go for hydroponic
Yes.
system, so are there any varieties which are not like suitable or capable in certain temperature?
Okay. Actually, I forgot to explain this. Thanks for raising this question.
Okay, thank you so much.
There is no a specific variety for that, but whenever you go for selecting the varieties, it should be recent season seed. Means you have not go any variety. You use simply F2 seed. Suppose for example, you have grown DKC 9208 hybrid. Simply you can take the F2 seed of those hybrid. But you have to ensure it should be recent season. If old season is there, then germination issue should be there.
And so something related to temperature, sir?
No,
Okay, sir. Okay.
no effect of temperature because it is up to 8 days only. And
It's up to it. Yes, sir.
in winter season you can use some inside of portion, not outer side. That can be helpful.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Any other questions?
No, I don't think. I think there are
Okay,
no.
shall we proceed?
We should proceed. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So Dr. Ashish is there. I think he is there only.
Good evening.
So it
Thank
is
you.
now, good evening, sir, good evening. So very good evening to all of you. It is now my pleasure to introduce our second speaker, Mr. Ashish Pandey, Strategic Initiative and Grower Engagement, Corteva Agri-Sciences, India. Mr. Pandey is an experienced agriculture professional with over 18 years of expertise in the seed industry, grower engagement, and sustainable agriculture. He has played a key role in promoting innovative farming practices and building a strong partnership with farmers to improve agriculture productivity and sustainability. Today, he will deliver an expert talk on Beyond Grain, the emerging role of maize silage in India's livestock sector. His presentation will highlight the growing importance of maize silage in supporting the livestock and dairy sector, creating new market opportunities for farmers, enhancing their income. So, with this introduction, I warmly invite Mr. Pandey to deliver his lecture. So, it is your side, sir. Sir, your slide is visible now. You're not audible, sir. Please unmute yourself. Sir, Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. I think
Okay.
he's
Yeah.
not.
Dr. Ashish?
I'm saying when I'm sharing screen, I'm not able to
Okay,
share.
okay.
Maybe I
Yeah, yeah,
was
yeah.
on mute.
You were unmute.
So
Yeah, yeah.
let me just, I was not able to unmute myself. So I'm sharing it again. Just give me a minute.
Sir, now you are audible.
I'm audible, but when I was sharing, so let me just
Okay,
share
okay.
again. And am I still audible?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
You're
Perfect.
audible.
So I think,
Okay.
sorry for the glitch. Welcome participants. My name is Ashish Pandey, and I'm here to talk about corn beyond grains. So I think in last few days, this 21 days seminar, you all listened that how the corn is so important and an industrial crop, and how it is not only giving beneficial for the country, but also beneficial for all the stakeholders, including farmer and those who are associated with this value chain. So I think, thank you, ICR, under the dynamic leadership of Dr. ML Jat, IIMR Director Dr. Nachiket, and Senior Scientist Dr. SL Jat, and other IIMR colleagues, that any large scale movement or development needs multi stakeholder partnership. And thank you all for taking that lead to bring public and private sector and all the stakeholders together. The corn is going to play an important role in Viksit Bharat 2047 and its objective of strengthening local food system, climate resilience, and increasing farm productivity. And this session is a milestone in it because it is covering the holistic aspects of corn. So thank you, IIMR team, one more time. Moving forward, I would like to talk about myself. I believe you can see my screen. I did my BSc Agriculture from DAV College, Ajmer, and MBA in Agribusiness from GB Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, Pantnagar. I'm having close to 22 years of experience, and since last 7.5 years, I'm working with Corteva Agri Science at different positions. Right now, I'm taking care of strategic initiatives which include a dedicated work on silage and grower engagement for Corteva Agri Science. Friends, we are glad to share that Pioneer is celebrating 100 years across the globe. The company started in 1926 and stood challenge of time, and we are very happy that we are helping farmer across the globe since last 100 years, and it's 53 years operating in India with farmers. And we are operating into 4 crops, offering hybrid millet, hybrid mustard, hybrid corn, and hybrid rice seeds. And we are one of the leading seed company in India. We are having various farmer facing tools available, which includes an application called Farmer Connect available on Play Store. Pravakta program, which is a leading loyalty farmer program where a person can associate with us, get the best in class training, test our hybrid, and take it to the farmers. And we are having a Paramarsh toll-free number that is available for farmer for all sort of farming queries. Coming to corn, in last few days in this seminar, you had people, industrialists like Jima, all the stakeholders from agriculture fraternity, all the breeders developing best of the hybrids. Why? Because corn is a commercial crop. Mostly the uses are seen in animal feed and industrial uses, including starch. Very recently, because of the government program, the ethanol-led consumption is also pulling up. Silage, as of now, is just a minuscule and fraction. लेकिन इस प्रेजेंटेशन में मैं आपको बताऊंगा कि यही सबसे बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी भी है. Silage is a big opportunity. Now, friends, what are the demand drivers? Why silage is so important in recent past? The population of 1.46 billion required 226 million metric ton of milk. The milk demand is increasing, and the production is growing at 6% CAGR. Now, if we talk about cattle, the India hosts 20% of world cattle, but we are having just 2.3% of the geographical area. And these cattle are also sharing the space with 70% of the global population. Therefore, the struggle for the space is immense. And we are also struggling with low productivity because our cattle are producing close to 2,000 liters of milk per lactation compared to world's average of 4,000 liter per lacto. Now, dairy, which is growing, but it is still struggling because 75% of the dairy is still with marginal and landless farmers. The number may vary, but it is close to 65 to 70% that the feed itself costs 65 to 70% of the total dairy. So those who are opening dairy, whether their dairy will be a profitable business, it will continue operating or it will close down, will depend upon how they are managing their fodder needs. And the grower fodder demand is basically of utmost importance because there is a net deficit of fodder. There are two graphs. On left hand side, it talks about the overall pan-India level demand, which is almost flat across the year. But then there is this availability. The green line talks about availability, which just crosses once in a year. So the availability except the February month, it is always in deficit. So the fodder is always in deficit in India. चारा हमेशा कम रहता है जितना जरूरत है. क्वालिटी, गुणवत्ता वाला चारा निश्चित रूप से हमेशा कम रहता है. Here, I would also like to take example of Punjab because they moved very fast in last 3-4 years and they have created a lot of entrepreneur and a lot of ecosystem, which is basically helping not only farmers but entrepreneurs themselves. Somehow they are able to manage fodder beyond their requirement, and therefore Punjab is one of the major exporter of silage, and a commodity which is just costing, let's say, 6 to 8 rupees a kg is being sent from Punjab to Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, and even southern states. So a journey of such a scale is only happening because there is a lot of need. सभी राज्यों में जरूरत है लेकिन चारा वहां पर उपलब्ध नहीं है. I think in evening, whenever you are traveling from the rural areas, I believe you might have seen these kind of scenes. I'm showing you a screen where people carry fodder in the evening. You pass through any village and you will see a lot of people are just cutting and harvesting green fodder to feed their animals. If green fodder is available, and if not, God knows what type of expenditures they are doing. Western UP, Punjab, Haryana, even the dry fodder rate goes up to 10 or 12 rupees a kg. Now, the state governments are very much aware, and you can see that in the month of February itself, many district authorities floated these kind of tenders where they are asking for all three elements of fodder: the dry fodder, the green fodder, and the concentrate. So they anticipated it in year 2026. There can be a shortages of fodder, not only for individual dairy owner, but for institutional dairies, goshalas, जहां कहीं पर भी पशु होते हैं, there can be a shortage. Therefore, they invited this tender in the month of February. And looking at the El Nino condition and the shortage of rains, I believe that the situation may be difficult for dairy grower animals. There are various schemes and policies supporting silage, which includes the National Livestock Mission, state level fodder development schemes, NDDB initiatives, entrepreneurship support, etc. So, friends, this entire thing was to bring the focus on a dire need that agriculture is also looking for quality fodder. And we are glad that Pioneer, since last lot of time, is working on silage zone. There are 5 different elements of silage zone, starting from planting, then growing the corn, harvesting it properly, storing it properly, and feeding. So we are a seed company, but when we offer services to silage farmer, we are not stopping at just plant and grow. We are also supporting them in right harvest because it is of utmost importance. We are also helping them store properly because storage is of also utmost importance. And then comes the feed, that this right silage, if not feeded well, will not yield the result. So we are going to talk about the quality, and I'm thankful to Dr. Pradeep that he explained about silage, corn silage, and various other available mode very much. So I will skip those topics and I will focus on the practical aspects. Corn silage, highest energy, very much explained by Dr. Saab, so I'm skipping it. The silage component and importance, close to these 7-8 parameters are for utmost importance, and we would like to put a lot of emphasis on dry matter. And apart from dry matter, I would also like to emphasize on a good silage versus bad silage. If a good silage is there, it will bring down the cost, increase the milk, it will increase the fat percentage, it will increase the ease of farmer. We just need to support the farmer. But friends, if because of any reason, which I'm going to tell in next 15 minutes, if the silage is not up to the mark, it can increase the diseases. It can increase the aflatoxin, which can increase the quality of milk. It can also impact the fertility of animal. Therefore, we need to educate farmer about the right quality of silage. Now, friends, a corn silage in India can become a silage by various means. There are certain local small machines using which the corn can be chopped and filled into these kind of 1-ton bags or smaller pits. This can reach to consumer. These are very, very easy. NAD means new area development on trial basis. You can do it. But if the compaction and chopping is not poor because the machines are of not a good quality, it can lead to fungus and poor quality. The other way corn can travel to a silage is using a proper kind of machinery, the bigger machinery, which can not only chop it properly, but can do proper compaction. The compaction can happen in silo bunkers or in terms of plastic bales. These bales and bunkers can also reach to consumer. There is one-time cost, but the quality, the mobility, and everything is positive. So Koteva Silage Zone is a holistic program where individual farmer is required not only to create their own silage, but if there are any challenges he is facing, it is time to institutionalization of the silage process. Few other machines, large machines, smaller machine for the chopping, for the baling, and this is the storage that can happen. You can dig a pit, use a plastic sheet, and use agriculture machinery to compaction. You can use these kind of 1-ton bag. You can store them above the ground, and you can press it using various available technologies. But friends, to an entrepreneur, Dr. Saab has very much clearly explained cost of different machine. But I would just like to throw your attention on 4 points. The biomass can be purchased at 2.5 to 3.5 rupees a kg. The crop at 80 days in rainy season with cob and green plant will be available for 2.5 to 3 rupees a kg. There can be 15 to 20 metric ton of biomass per acre. So farmer can get 60,000 rupees, maybe 70,000 rupees within 80 to 90 days. His crop is harvested properly and his field is ready for next crop. The process itself of buying these machines, doing the processing can take close to 1.5 rupees a kg, which requires a chopper, baler. I've taken cost of smaller one, but Dr. Saab has shown cost of the institutional one, which may cost 30 to 40 lakh rupees. Then there is this cost of capital. You need to buy all this silage and you need to keep it for at least 45 days to 3 months. That can be an additional cost of 0.5 paisa. And typically the silage can be sold at 6 to 7 rupees a kg and maybe even beyond that. So this is a business where just by investing whatever amount that you are willing to invest, 50 lakh rupees, a crore rupees or whatever, you can get 1 to 2 rupees a margin, which is 15 to 20% margin within 3 to 6 months. Right there in your villages, helping your farmer and supporting the local ecosystem. We have seen a lot of people developing it and a lot of machine maker in Punjab supporting this initiative. Quickly moving to challenges with balers that they may face with biomass availability, harvesting schedule, and a cluster development of willing farmer. The quality of silage that how to, when they start, how to know the technical know-how, chopping, compaction, and opening. Market development. the Koteva is here to help you. Our silage zone program is meant for balers as well as individual farmer. I'm not aware about the present composition, and because this video is floated on YouTube also, I believe there will be many people who will be referring to this video maybe 3 years down the line. So there can be balers, they are willing, they are happy to, we will be happy to support them in their commercial adventure. But at the same time, we can offer them the best fit corn, the hybrid which can increase the number of plant per acre crop, biomass. We are having our agronomic program to support the farmers, harvesting guidelines, what height, what type of size. We are having tie-up with people so that they can store it well, pack it well, quality testing equipments are available, and then we are helping them in opening of pit, slicing, making total mixed ration of grain plus dry fodder and concentrate, and measure the difference in milk yield and fat yield productively. Now, we talked about the overall silage. We talked about the silage as a baler. Now, let's come to an individual farmer. क्या रे बनाने में तो फायदा है, बेचने में भी फायदा है, but एक individual farmer को क्या फायदा होगा? But friends, there is a benefit. Even if you are having 3 to 5 milking animal or 30 to 50 or 300 to 500, the silage can definitely help you not only in terms of each, because it is available round the year. It will help you fight the increased feed cost. The cost of silage is very, very less, and you need not to spend on your daily rituals that you have seen, that going to field, chopping some green fodder, coming back and वो कुट्टी करना, चारा लगाना और वो सब डेली करने का आवश्यकता नहीं है. So we are saying कि silage जो चारा है, इस चारे के बिना किसी के पास कोई चारा नहीं है. There is no way out of the silage. A quick glance that milk, the composition of 87% is water, but the 30% of dry substance is made up of fat, protein, and carbohydrate. Now, an animal needs energy for self, for the calf, which is in belly, which is in uterus, and maybe for the this weather. The fiber is required for digestion and for जो जुगाली जानवर करता है उसके लिए उसको रेशा चाहिए, so that his tummy is clean and intestine is clean and he is yielding good, and the protein and minerals are also required. But silage, because if you are giving green fodder, it is having 85% of water. If you are giving them dry fodder, it is having 95% of fiber. So the green fodder is having water, less dry matter. The dry fodder is having fiber, but the optimum portion or nutrition is missing. But a good silage can give you a 30% dry matter. Even in different season, you can give a uniform dry matter silage. And then maybe if you are not having silage, maybe you need to buy dry matter at a very high cost. So same animal can give extra milk because you are utilizing it fully, and with the right type of feed, you can ensure better digestion, which can lead into milk, not in the cow dung or the gobar. Now, silage very well explained that it can be made by various crop, but corn is very suitable. It is fermentation in anaerobic condition. A good quality silage is having a very good aroma, a very good golden brown or green color, and it is having fiber and no fungus in it. On the other hand, the regular silage can have a very foul smell which will you not be able to bear. आपको पसंद नहीं आएगी, वो सूखा या दबाने पर गीला निकलेगा, और वहां पर aflatoxin या fungus can also be there. The quality is already explained, so I'm not going to spend much time on it. But friends, you are very sure that if there are these two canisters of milk, the right hand side device can easily differentiate that same white looking milk. One milk is having 8% or 6% fat, or the other one is having 5% of fat. So there is a meter or milk tester that can help differentiate in the milk. But do you think that if there are two bales, can someone differentiate that which bales to pay 6 rupees a kg and which one will be sold at 7 rupees a kg? Yes, we are going to tell you. Friends, we have seen that while growing for corn for fodder, sometimes people take a decision that, okay, any corn seed will do, let us not spend on good quality seed. I have taken an example. If you need 8 to 9 kg of seed, a good quality hybrid will come somewhere between 4,000 to 4,500. But even a lowest cost corn seed will come close to 2,000 rupees per acre or 1,000 rupees a packet. The difference is 2,600 rupees only. The rest cost is same. There will be a difference in biomass, but let's say if the biomass is also same, the cob ratio can be 3% difference. And I'm just taking this 3% difference, that at 15 ton, the 3% will be equivalent of 500 kg of cob. If you consider 80% grain, it will differentiate by 400 kg of grain. The entire grain rate, if it is 18 rupees a kg, it will come close to 7,000 rupees. So these are an internal assumption, but I'm just requesting that if you are even choosing a hybrid for silage or fodder, please choose quality hybrid, because if you are just using the plant, it will be giving you green yield or biomass. But if you are choosing it for the cob, it will basically help you with dry matter, higher starch in grain, and it will give you a benefit of 7,000. Now this extra dry matter, let's say if the dry matter in the silage is 30%, in the entire extra weight that you received, there will be the 120 kg of dry matter. Now, it is very well known thought that every kg of dry matter can increase milk yield of 1.5 liter over a long period of time. So even if you are getting 40 rupees per liter on fat basis, it is again equivalent to 7,000 rupees. So this is of utmost importance that you need not to look at just the overall biomass, but also at the cob contribution and the dry matter of the overall silage. There is a bucket A of silage, which is having a low energy silage, which is having stem, fiber and water, but the milk output is low. There is B bucket where high energy silage is there, which is having grain, digestible fiber, and this will give higher milk output. Now, this is the silage which is an inappropriate silage, and this should not be there. The chop size is bigger, there is overfilling, and you can see the fungus here. The pressing issue on the edges because it is not properly aligned is there. You can see the bag, there is this air bubbles are there. This air bubble is basically anaerobic fermentation, and on the edges of this silage pit you can see the fungus. These are the area of improvement. So for a good silage, I'm going to talk about 4 things: right hybrid, right crop management, right time harvesting, and right packing. So plant a hybrid which can give you higher biomass and cob ratio. We are having few hybrids called 3524 or 3302 and P18090 and 44 in different states, which can give you, these are suitable for various land types and they can give you different type of yield. Please connect with us for your area specific requirements. The planting can be done slightly closer than the grain yield. At the seed rate, instead of 7 to 8 kg, you can increase up to 9 to 10 kg of seed. Now, I'm not going to talk about weed control or the nutrition management or the irrigation management, but I'm straight away going to talk about the harvesting. Now, friends, one thing is very clear, that this entire seed rate related concept, even if you are having 8 kg seed or 24 inch by 7 to 8 inch plant population, let's say farmer has sown the seed, and when crop is growing and he feels that the grain prices are not optimum, he is still having this option to basically harvest when there is half milk line stage achieved. So to obtain the maximum dry matter and starch, when you need to break the cob and you need to see that up to what level the corn grain is dried. The topmost layer should be dried. So if you are squeezing, it should not leave any milk. So half milk line is obtained. The lower part, if you are crushing it with your teeth, is still releasing milk, but the top part of this is converted into powder. and this converted into powder form will help when this starch will spread across the entire biomass and give a good quality silage. Second is harvesting. If harvested at a right stage for better digestion and better fiber, the 1 to 1.5 centimeter chop size should be there. The lower image is not a right image because the entire grain and cob can be seen in the silage. We are having certain tool which can help you produce right amount of chop, and we can basically guide you on what type of machine to be obtained. The height from which it needs to be cut is also of important. We need to leave bottom 6 to 8%, 6 to 8 inches of corn stubble, because that is not having adequate nutritional value. Now, when it comes to packing, whatever mode that you are adopting, a bale or a bag, or you are making a bunker or pit, whatever, you need to achieve 25 kilogram of biomass in per cubic feet, 1 feet width, 1 feet depth, and 1 feet height. This 1 cubic feet of area should have 25 kg of silage. Now, these are various bags and bunkers that the silage, it can be used to prepare silage. You can make a bunker of it, and we can guide you that what type of bunker, what size will be adequate depending upon your animal. So let's say an animal require 20-25 kg based on the animal size and milk yield, close to 20-25 kg of silage, which means 1 cubic feet of silage is required for one milking animal every day. So you can decide on the pit size or the raised wall size. The raised wall can also be created with this kind of support. So if tractor is moving on top of it, the walls are not busting. The silage should be spread in layer 1, compaction, then spread the entire layer, compaction again, and then it should be in multiple layer. When you are harvesting the silage, there will be 3 phases. You filled it in the pit or a bale. The first phase, the kernel milk line will basically be able to tell you 3 things. If there is the entire cob is wet or in duff stage, there will be losses. When you will be pressing it, there will be seepage losses. Then there will be an optimum harvest window, which is half to 3/4 milk line. Let's say if somehow you are not able to harvest it on time, there will be field losses in terms of inadequate moisture, and you will not be able to have good ensiling. So right harvesting, and then your chopper machine should also have basically a lot of system to basically chop the grain properly. So it's not about just achieving chopping of your biomass, but the grain should be crushed and the powder should be spread across all the chopped material so that it can be fermented well and it can increase the lactic acid, reduce the pH, and it can convert into good silage. So these kind of machine blades and grain crackers are available. Please study well, seek our help, and then do. One of the success story that in 2024 we went to Maharashtra. Their silage chopping used to be like this, where a large pieces and the good quality piece was limited, but the large pieces were high. When we worked with them, used this kind of box and this device, they were able to make this kind of silage where the appropriate kind of silage content or the size increased. We are having these kind of devices which can be made by anyone. We are having this kind of auger. We know the width of this pipe, a metal pipe, which is fitted in this drilling machine, just welded here. So this auger length and the width is available, and there is a factor which can be decided. Let's say in our machine, we are just inserting this machine with the pressure. It can rotate, it can go inside a bale or inside your silo, and we can pull it out. And when we are pulling it out, we will check how many grams of material is here in this gun. Let's say if this gun is pulling 130 gram of material, we can say that, oh, perfect, you are having 25 kg silage. But let's say if that is not happening, we will easily know that the silage is not achieved properly. Now, the three phases I'm talking about, when you are making silage, there will be a quickly aerobic phase where it is known as a loss phase, where oxygen heat is there and it is converting into CO2. So let's say you chopped the hybrid, you chopped the corn, but you could not make silage of it immediately. You kept it for a day. You took it to the bunker, but you are not able to press it well and you kept it open. So that phase, it will lose. So that phase should be minimum. Then there will be an anaerobic phase where silage is filled into bales and bunker. It is properly sealed. It is fermenting, making CO2, and then the anaerobic fermentation is happening. This is the longest phase. Minimum 30 to 40 days you should keep. Post that, you can keep it as long as for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, but then you will open it. And opening it again will expose a layer of silage to aerobic fermentation. When you will open silo, the oxygen will enter, there will be heating, there will be spoilage, and the silage will degrade. Therefore, the silo opening should be a scientific method, in a slicing method like this. If it is a big slice, don't leave slanting lines. Just start from top of it and cut a slice like you are cutting a cake from top to bottom, and then cover it well and open it next day. This will help you in proper feeding of silage. We are having these kind of quality machines available, where not only the dry matter but also the starch, protein, ADF, NDF content can also be seen. So we are having a dedicated team which can keep on moving in the fields and keep on testing. If you are a farmer and you want to purchase a silage, our team can help you with the quality content. We believe that these are some of the photographs in Punjab. It happens at a large scale where this uh, uh, pit is there. This is 8 to 10 feet high pit is there, where a 50-80 horsepower tractor is basically pushing it. There are these kind of balers available. This is on live. Punjab farmers are recording live that how their quality is better than others. This is how the grain should shatter properly so that it is spread across all the biomass. And this is our team across India in Maharashtra, where this lady who was awarded by FICCI, and he is basically working in Baramati, Western Maharashtra with silage. So we are working across them. So finally, we as a company having a program called Silage Zone, which is having 5 different phases, where we can not only help from planting to grow the corn for 80 days, harvest it properly at a right stage, store it properly for 30-40 days, whatever means you are having, bag, bales, pit, bunker. But we will help you achieve right amount of compaction. And then when you are opening it, we'll help you guide on what type of opening you should do. We are very thankful to IIMR, because Dr. Pradeep and their other colleagues are having so much work done at their IIMR Ludhiana center, which is very, very inspiring for us, which is very, very valuable for us, because we keep connecting with them. And you are very much welcome to basically visit any of our site or IIMR Ludhiana site, because they are doing excellent work on it. And we'd like to give you a thank you. We are still having 5 minutes in our session where we can have our question and answer. My name is Ashish Pandey. My mobile number and my email ID is given here. And you can basically connect with me for our Silage Zone initiative, and I will connect you back with our field team. So I will take a pause here, and we can now take question and answer for remaining 5 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Very interesting and very knowledgeable presentations from your side. Any questions? You can see in chat box. There is no question.
Thank you. We can see some thumbs up. Thank you, participants. Thank you for your encouragement.
Any question from participants? I think, sir, there is no question. You
Thank you.
explain very well.
It is all
So,
clear, all clear.
yeah. uh, Thank you, all of you. We close today's both interesting lectures and testing our delegators. So, thank you, all of you, for this today's sessions. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you, IMR. Thank you, participants. It was nice interacting with you. Bye bye.
Okay.